Sepertinya pukul 7.30 ya, Pak Joko belum hadir. Mungkin izinkan saya kita tepat waktu ya, karena Bu
Ya,
Ristanti sangat super sibuk dan mungkin belum
ya,
istirahat semalaman.
ya, betul.
Betul
Betul.
ya.
Baik.
Jadi mungkin nanti juga waktu mungkin tidak harus berlama-lama, mau 1 jam nggak apa-apa. Yang penting kita melaksanakan.
Betul.
Dan mohon izin, saya mungkin pakai bahasa Indonesia terlebih dahulu.
Tidak apa-apa.
Baik, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam
Waalaikumsalam.
sejahtera, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan dan rahayu. Tentunya sangat bersyukur sekali kita malam hari ini boleh dipertemukan di dalam webinar yang sangat kita tunggu-tunggu. Dan webinar ini boleh berlangsung dari mungkin awalnya adalah bulan September 2019 ya, cukup lama. Walaupun dulu adalah ketika saya menyelenggarakan, saya masih ada di IKI Jawa Barat, tetapi sekarang posisinya saya juga ada di IKI Indonesia, maupun saya juga pengurus PTIC dan founder untuk TOT Jawa Barat. Tentunya sangat menarik webinar ini karena dengan menggunakan berbahasa Inggris, ini ide dari Ibu Siti Amelia. Bu Amel ini sangat cemerlang idenya, dan biasanya ketika menggunakan berbahasa Inggris ini ada peserta yang dari luar negeri ya. Mereka ada dari Filipina dan Singapura. Mudah-mudahan nanti dia juga japri ya. Tadi barusan saya juga bertelepon ya, ditelepon dari Belanda. Cuma saya memang bahasa Inggrisnya mungkin tidak sepintar Ibu Ristanti ya, tapi saya
Oke.
belajar mau belajar dan Ibu Hilda. Dan terima kasih, saya memberikan salam hormat dulu kepada Ibu Ristanti sebagai narasumber hari ini dan Ibu Hilda yang akan memandu acaranya webinar hari ini. Tentunya sangat kita memohon berkat dan kita akan berdoa ke agama dan kepercayaan masing-masing. Mari kita berdoa. Doa selesai. TOT Jawa Barat ini berlangsung dengan bantuan atau kerjasama dan sponsor dari Universitas Tekom dan juga beberapa dari kegiatan ini benar-benar kita itu hanya anugerah. Dan tentunya tidak berlama-lama, kita akan mohon Ibu Hida untuk memandu acara dengan menggunakan language English language ya, bahasa Inggris. Oke. Terima kasih. Saya serahkan kepada layar dan kesempatannya kepada Ibu Hida dan Ibu Ristanti. Nanti saya juga paling Google Translate ya, Ibu untuk terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Ari Widi Kristiani. We also call her Mrs. Ari. Yeah, right, Mrs. Ari?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for give me a time to be a moderator at webinar this evening. Now, wait a second. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad to see you all, educator of this webinar, who's always excited to learning together with us. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Hida Wahida Hussein. I'm from IGI, Kota Bogor. And besides, we learning with our great speaker now. Okay, we have also to learning English very well. Okay, the title of this webinar is very interesting for us. That is about differentiating instruction in multi-level classroom, which is performed by Mrs. Ristanti Anistia. We also call her Mrs. Riris, right, Mrs. Riris?
That's right.
Okay. Now let me introducing her experience. She is a national instructor for curriculum 2013 and curriculum Merdeka. She is an educator in vocational school, and her hobbies are reading, motivating people, traveling, and learning new things. Wow, that is That are wonderful hobbies, Miss Riris.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, all of the teacher and educator here, are you ready now to learning together on this webinar? Okay, especially with Mrs. Riris, Kristanti Anistia. Okay, Mrs. Riris, the time is yours.
Thank you, Bu Hida, my dear friend from Bogor. Right. Okay. Thank you also, Bapak and Ibu, for joining this webinar. Ibu Ari, thank you. Bu Amel also, who always support us, yeah, for doing this kind of thing, sharing and growing and learning together, right? So. In this occasion, we would like to share and then discuss something. I hope it will be very beneficial for all of us. Okay, then, well, let's get started by saying Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. It's a great pleasure for me to meet you all here, even though it is still online, but I do hope that all of us will get something beneficial from our meeting, from our discussion tonight. Even though, just like Bu Ari said, that we haven't got enough time to get rest or even to take a bath, yeah, but it is okay because we have high spirit, yeah, to study or to learn something new or to to widen our horizon about something that related to our task as a teacher, that is about differentiated instruction. I think this topic has been quite viral, yeah, popular, yeah, especially since the new curriculum was launched, yeah, I think last year, if I'm not mistaken, right? So actually, we are as teachers are told many times to try this method or this, let's say, philosophy, yeah, to differentiate our teaching, right? Since we realize that our students are different, right? They have different factors in terms of background, in terms of learning style, and so on. But I think that not many teachers have understood well about this differentiated instruction, Bapak Ibu, ya. While actually it is very important for us as teachers to understand this matter, because we want to give our best teaching to our students, right? So we have to, I hope that by discussing this topic in this webinar, we can do kind of reflection, yeah, or look back again to our teaching, whether we have done this or not, whether it is something new for us, or we have done this kind of differentiation actually in our teaching, but maybe we don't realize yet. Yeah, I hope that's the thing that we do. That's it, Bapak Ibu. So maybe if I ask some of you whether you have you've been familiar with this topic about this differentiation or differentiated instruction, maybe some of you can give us some answers, yeah, just to get to know whether you have got or you have understood well about this topic, or maybe it is something new for you. If you don't mind, maybe some of you can give your answer, whether you have known well about this topic, or maybe it is something new for you. Or maybe in the chat, Bu Hidayah. In the chat, maybe, okay. We haven't got the answer yet, yeah? Okay, let's just go on. Just consider that maybe some of you have known well about this, but maybe for some of you also, you still want to know more about this. Yeah, you are still curious and want to know more about what is it actually, and then what do I have to do as a teacher for this topic, or for this idea to differentiate our teaching, what for actually, and how to do this. Okay, so allow me to share some slide on this topic so I can present my topic in a more effective and efficient way. Okay, I can share this one. Oops, sorry. Supposed to be the first slide. So, can you see my slides? Yeah, Bapak and Ibu. Okay, I hope, yeah, everybody can see my slide. Okay, so as you can see from the title, yeah, differentiate instruction. So you can see also the subtitle here, that meet the diverse of your students and also meet individual students' needs. So this is the spirit, the good points of this idea, yeah, to differentiate instruction, to differentiate our teaching, to vary our teaching. So what is the purpose? That is to meet the diverse of our students, that also to meet individual students' need. That is our purpose of doing this differentiate instruction, and Bapak and Ibu. So in this presentation, in the next about 20 minutes or something, I'm going to talk about this differentiate instruction, and we will be covering some points, yeah, such as the first one is what is a differentiated instruction. We will see in a much closer discussion about what is it actually, and then also why do we have to do this one as teacher? Why do we have to do, why is it so important for us as teacher to understand and to do this one? And then the next one is how to do this differentiate instruction, or in bahasa Indonesia actually we can say pembelajaran berdiferensiasi. See, this is also one of the let's say the important principle in curriculum, the new curriculum Merdeka, right? So that's the thing that we are going to discuss tonight. And then the next one is what is a differentiated instruction look like? Okay, let's get started with the new topic or the new point. What is it actually? So Bapak and Ibu, we know that the work of teaching is challenging. We realize that teaching is not that easy, right? I will not say that teaching is difficult. I will not say something with bad meaning, right? Because for us it is not difficult. Yeah, I believe that teaching is not difficult but challenging. See, so we have to do everything we can to be a good teacher. We have to do everything we can to give our best teaching to our students, and that is not easy. We have to keep upgrading our our horizon, our skill in teaching, and about the teaching methodology, about many things related to teaching, right? So in terms of our students' differences, we realize that our students come to our class with a variety of many factors, namely prior educational experience. We realize that our students have their own prior educational experiences. And we also realize that our students have different learning styles. Some of our students might have audio or visual, auditory, visual, or kinesthetic. Okay, so we realize that one. We also know that our students have different readiness levels. Yeah, some of them may be good, have good, let's say, good level in understanding the material that we give, but sometimes some of them are not. And also our students have their own personal experiences. Yeah, our students also have their own interests, their own hobbies, their own motivations. Some of our students have good and high motivation to learn. Yeah, it will be very easy for us to teach or to guide such students, but also we find that some other students have difficulty in finding themselves in learning comfortably in our classroom. So that is the challenge for us as teacher, what to do with this variety, yeah, of our students, what to do, whether is it enough for us to know that our students are different, yeah, in many things, in many aspects, and that's it, or we have to do something about it. So far, many teachers, yeah, including me also, we know that our students are different, of course, right? But just few of us do something, or follow this knowing that students are different in our teaching activity, right? So we just know our students are different. We just talk about it with other teachers, with other partners in the teacher's room, maybe. Yeah. Oh, I know this student is this one is silent, or that student is a bit they like if this topic is about sport, for example, but that students will be enjoying the study if the topic is about that one, for example. We know a lot about our student condition, our students' personality, but we don't do much about it in our teaching planning, right? We still give them the same teaching. We still give them the same treatment, right? Even though we know that they are different. So that is the thing that we have to change, yeah, in this topic. So we know that our students are different, but in reality, we squeeze our students into one size fits all delivery system. It means that we give them the same treatment, no matter how different they are, no matter how, unique they are, right? So for us, that everyone will learn the same thing at the same time, no matter how different they are, right? So no matter what their individual needs, yeah, we give them the same treatment in teaching. That's what we do every time, right? We come to our class, we meet our students with only one material, with one method, with one technique, and with one assessment. There's no option at all for our students, right? Then our students must follow what we ask them to do. That is the reality that we face in in classroom condition for so long, right? So this this differentiated instruction is the answer, okay, to this problem, yeah. So we come to to realize that we have to do something with this one. We can't give our students the same treatment because they are different, because they are unique, right? So what do we have to do with this? That's why we have to study more about this differentiation in teaching. So differentiation, actually, we will see later on that differentiation, actually, it is not something new. I hope, yeah. So it is actually something that we all do in every lesson. When we varying our technique of teaching, when we varying our materials, varying our assessment technique, and so on. So actually, that's what we do with differentiation. So for some of you, maybe it is not something new. Oh, I have done it actually all this time. That's it, differentiation. That's good for you. But for you, if you haven't done this one, so it is not too late for you to start doing this one for the sake of our students. Progress in learning. See? So the next one is, let's get started, or let's get going to the definition about this differentiation or differentiated instruction or pembelajaran berdiferensiasi. So in this definition, it is stated that differentiated instruction is a process. So it is not a magic word. It is not something that will happen easily, yeah, at once, yeah. So it includes the planning and preparation also, and delivery of instruction to address the diversity of students' learning needs within the classroom. So that is the thing that we have to do as a teacher. We have to plan, we have to prepare, and we have to, a very delivery of instruction to address this diversity of students. So we have to take into consideration, we have to pay more attention about the students' diversity. In what form? That is in the in planning our teaching. So through this differentiated instruction, teachers take into account, consider who they teach, what they teach, and where they teach, and how they teach. Or in short, or in other words, we have to pay more attention on our students' condition or differences. See? All this time we know that our students are different, but that's it. We don't do anything about it in our teaching planning, right? So we have to change it. And then the second definition, we can see that differentiated instruction is, at its most basic level, differentiating instruction means shaking up what goes on in the classroom so that students have multiple options for taking in information, making sense of ideas, and expressing what they learn. So the key points here in this definition is that teachers must provide some options, must provide some alternatives, some opportunities for students to choose what they want to learn in terms of content, in terms of process, in terms of assessment. So we offer them some option, yeah, that they will choose according to their learning style, according to their interests. So that is the key point that we have to consider in our teaching, providing options, providing option. And the next, what is it? A definition about this differentiated instruction, saying that differentiation offers different path, different way to understanding content, process, and products, considering what is appropriate given a child's profile of strengths, interests, and styles. Or in short, we can say that again, the same idea with the previous definition, that we have to offers different way for students to understand the material that we are going to teach them, right? In terms of content, process, and product. So students can choose, oh, I like this content because it is related to my interest. It is appropriate with my learning style, for example. And I want this activity because, yeah, it is appropriate with me, for example. So that's the task for us as teachers, to provide options, to provide different ways to understand the material that we are going to teach them. And the next definition also, it will make us understand better about this differentiation. What is it actually? That is the process by which teachers provide, again, yeah, it is about providing opportunities for learners to achieve their potential, working at their own pace, working at their own learning speed through a variety of relevant learning activities. So the key points in this definition is that we have to allow our students to work to achieve their learning goals, yeah, to understand, to be, to understand the things that we teach them at their own learning speed, at their own pace, through a variety, again, yeah, the key point is the variety of relevant learning activities. So we do not offer one medicine for all students, yeah. If we have to teach 20 or 25 students, well, so we have to give them as many as possible, yeah, medicine in quotes, yeah, quote in quote, or as many as possible teaching methods, materials with different level of difficulties, and also options in assessing their learning achievement. So from all these definitions, it is very clear for us, yeah, that the key point of differentiation, the key point of differentiated instruction is about giving them opportunity to study at their own learning speed, at their own pace, at their own time. See, I know it is not that easy. It is easy for me to say that because we can give, for example, our students available time for them, yeah, but we have plan to do, right? We have some materials to cover in certain times, yeah. We have plan in our program semester, in our program tahunan. So we have to do, we have to consider that thing also. But it will be more important for us as teachers to focus on our students' condition, to our students' interest, rather than focus on how many materials that we have to give in certain times in one semester, for example, or in 1 year. So do not focus on how many materials that we have to teach them, but it will be better for us to focus more on our students' achievement. Yeah. Okay, that's the key point of this differentiation. And then we can see that differentiated instruction, actually, it is anything that accommodates differences in your learners. Okay, wait a minute. And leading them to learn more effectively. So we believe that if our students can study within their own learning style, with their own interests, so they will be able to study more effectively. And then differentiation involves also teaching in different ways to different students, right? Variety in teaching style or teaching technique or teaching methods in the classroom based on their individual needs. So the challenge for students, for teachers is, it is not only to set the goal for the class, but we have also to pay attention to our students' individual goals. Yeah. So it is not easy, I know, but we have to try our best, yeah, because our students need that. Our students need our, what is it, a differentiated instruction. And then it's considered as a student-centered approach to teaching and learning. Of course, yeah, it is very, very student-centered approach because our purpose, our goal in doing this is for them, yeah, for them to learn better, for them to learn more effectively by respecting and appreciating their differences. Okay, and then the next one, why differentiated instruction? Why do we have to do this as teachers? Because every student, as we know, as we realize, that every student has different learning style. Some of them will enjoy watching videos, yeah, showed by their teachers. But some of our students maybe will enjoy reading books, right? Some of our students maybe will enjoy moving here and there, yeah, in learning. See, okay, so every student will have different learning style. That the things that we have to respect, the things that we have to deal with. Individuals are better at learning information through different modality. See, it is not only reading books all the time, right? It is not only by preaching or giving, lecturing, not preaching, lecturing our students all the time, yeah, supplying them with the material that we have prepared well, no, yeah, but we have to give them, that's it, variety of teaching method, a variety of teaching techniques, and so on. And all students will not learn the same material, will not learn the same material within the same period. This is also the thing that we have to consider, right? Yeah, most of us maybe set our planning in teaching that our students must finish certain materials, certain competencies, for example, in certain times, yeah, at the same time for all, right? But actually, not every students will be able to do that, yeah. We have realized also in real class, right? Some students will be left behind. Some students are a bit slower, right? In studying and understanding what we teach them, what we guide them, right? So it shows that not all students can learn the same material, can achieve our learning goal at the same period. So that is the thing that we have, consider what to do with these slow learners. Maybe it is not, there will be no problem in teaching those students who are good at learning, right? Or passioners, or good students or high achiever. We call it high achiever. But let's see, much deeper to our students at low level, yeah, or slow learners, for example. So students differ on performance and readiness levels. Some students are ready to study with the material that we are going to teach, but some students are not. So what to do with the students who are not ready yet for our teaching, right? So that is the thing that we have to consider. So the principles. Now let's talk about the principles of differentiation. All students, the first one is all students participate in respectful work. So in other words, we have to respect our students' strength and our students' weaknesses. Each of our students has their own, right? Has their own good point or weaknesses. So that is the thing that we have to respect, accept them as they are, as the way they are, right? In our teaching, and then allow them to participate in any task that we give. It is not only for high or high achievers or students who have no problem in learning, but the task that we give for our students also must cover or accommodate slow learners. See, so that is the challenge that we have to do in our teaching. And then make sure that all students in our classroom can participate, comfortably in our learning activities. And then the second one, teachers and students work together. See, so it would be better if students and teachers discuss together about the learning progress that they are doing in certain times, in certain topic. For example, if there are some failures, something that doesn't work well, so we discuss together with our students, what is the problem, what is the cause, and what is the solution. So we ask our students to discuss, to work together about their own the learning. See, so they will be able to see their own learning, so they will be able to see their own problem and how to solve it, how to to make it to answer this problem. For example, in one topic, for example, some students do not understand, or some students are not able to do what we ask them to do. So what is the solution? So discuss together with our students. That's working together. And ongoing assessment and adjustment. So all this time, many teachers stress more on final or summative assessment. So we focus on we will take certain scores of our students' achievement at the end of the class, for example, or at the end of 1 or 2 topics, right? So that is the main goal of our teaching. Sometimes we do that, right? And then we forget that it is much more important to do the ongoing or formative assessment. So this kind of assessment is happening in the in the middle or in the process of learning activity. See, it is not only about summative teaching is not only about summative assessment, but the most important or more important than summative is formative or ongoing assessment, in which we can diagnose, we can see, we can analyze students' progress in learning. So if they are having problem in the learning process, so we can do something to help them. See, so in summative, it will not happen like that, because in summative we just take the score, just to show that they have competent or they have understood on unit or material or topic that we teach them. See, but ongoing assessment, it is more important. That's why in a new curriculum, so the assessment that we have to pay more attention is not summative but formative assessment or ongoing assessment. So in this way, we will be able to diagnose if there are some students encounter some problems in learning. See, if we don't pay attention on this ongoing assessment, we will not be able to know that our students need our help. So we can't just go on with our topic, with our teaching, without knowing that some students are having problems with their learning in our classroom. So it would be very helpful. It would be very better for students or for teachers to study more about how to do this ongoing assessment, how to do this formative assessment. Actually, we have done it, actually, Bapak Ibu. When we are teaching and in the middle of our teaching, then we stop for a while, and then we ask our students, is there any understand, or is there anything that you want to ask? Now that is actually ongoing assessment. One example of ongoing assessment, when we are checking our student understanding in the middle of our teaching, that is formative. That is also ongoing assessment. That is a good assessment that for teachers to do, rather than just giving summative assessment. Next one is attend to students' differences. Again, we have to pay more attention, come closer to our students' condition, our student differences, just like I have mentioned before, right? So our students come to our class with their own uniqueness. So we have to know their uniqueness. In one classroom, how many students, for example, have what is it, visual learning style. How many students in our classroom having difficulty in learning, and so on. So that's the information that we have to get about our students. Yeah. And then teachers and students collaborate in learning, just like the previous point. So teachers and students discuss together about the students learning progress, about the students learning progress. Yeah, if they are having problems, so they have to tell what kind of problem and what is the cause and what is the solution. So teachers must be able to find out the problem that our students what is it having in learning. And then teachers balance group and individuals. So for teachers, it is important to set the class goal, yeah, or the group goal, yeah. But at the same time, also teachers must be able to pay attention on individual goal. So it is not easy, I know, but we have to try. We have to keep practicing this one, yeah, because it is skill also for teachers, yeah, how to do this differentiation, especially this in this case is about assessment, yeah, how to give assessment, varying assessment according to students condition, according to students learning needs, and so on. That's the principles of differentiation. And then let's get going to how to do this differentiate instruction. How am I what do I have to do as a teacher to be able to differentiate the instruction in my classroom? So if we ask that, the first thing that you have to do is you need to be aware of the different strengths and weaknesses of our students, yeah, of your students, see? And then how to do that? You can, there are some ways, yeah, to find out our students' strengths and weaknesses, yeah. We can do this diagnostic assessment at the beginning of the class. And then also we have to be aware of different ways in which your students learn and take account of this in planning your teaching. So it is related to what is it, learning style, students learning style, yeah. As we know that some students are visual, some students are kinesthetic, some students are auditory. So we have to take all those differences into our teaching plan, yeah. We have to accommodate all those differences in determine or to choose in choosing what technique that appropriate with auditory students, what technique of learning which appropriate with students with visual style, for example. See, so we don't give the same treatment. I know it is what is it? It is maybe will be very difficult for us to give or to accommodate, yeah, every student's individual learning needs, yeah. But at least we try to accommodate as much as possible, yeah, as much as possible, students' differences in one classroom. Okay, and then the next one is, so after you are aware of the different strengths and weaknesses of our students, and we have to be aware also of the different ways in which our students learn or learning style, of different strengths, different weaknesses, and different learning style. And then we have to pay attention also to our students' characteristics, yeah, about their students' readiness, in what point, in what level, in what position our students are in terms of the topic or the skill that we are going to teach them, we are going to train them, for example, yeah. When we are going to teach them or to train them about greetings, for example, yeah, something very simple. So we have to know first, yeah, our students' readiness for this topic, for greetings in English, for example. See, how much do they know? How much do our students know about this topic? Yeah, and then this information will determine the level of difficulty of the material, the teaching material that we are going to give to our students. And then also students' interest. Their patients, for example, some of our students like doing sport, and then the others maybe like art, yeah, and and many others. See, so the things, that kind of information that we have to get, yeah. And then learning profile or learning style, just like I have discussed before. See, so these characteristics, yeah, in terms of these 3 points of our students that must be taken into consideration when we are planning our teaching. Yeah, when we are planning our teaching. And how to differentiate the instruction that we give to our students. The first is decide what to teach, yeah, about the content, the standard, the outcomes, or the goals. Yeah, so differentiate instruction begins with the selection of standard-based content. So the content or the material that we are going to give to our student must be based on our students' differences. See, so we can take it for granted that okay lah, I will take this material with this level of difficulty without knowing our students' condition, without knowing our student characteristic and so on. See, okay, and then pre-assess to determine existing knowledge. So this is that we do when we are giving diagnostic testing at the beginning of our teaching. So by giving diagnostic teaching, we'll be able to know, yeah, the readiness level of our students, yeah, the existing knowledge or needs of our students before we give certain material or certain topic to our students. And the next one is by creating some groups, yeah. It can, and then the way we group our students can be based on their learning style, can be based on their interest, or can be based there on other factor, yeah. So it will be time to time. Maybe this week we will make students into groups based on their learning style. But next week maybe we make them to work in groups based on their learning ability and so on. So we have to make it do not make our student feel that, okay, maybe because I'm not that smart, so I will be in the group with other students with the same level. So we have to avoid that one, yeah. So how do we differentiate instruction? There are 3 ways that we can differentiate instruction. There are 3 ways that we can differentiate instruction or our teaching. The first one is varying the content or presentation. It's about how it is taught and what students learn. So we can varying our teaching from this point, from these aspects, yeah, based on students' interests. Again, we have to know first, yeah, our students' interests in one classroom. So before we come to a certain classroom, we have got the information about them, and then we apply this information. We do the follow-up of this information in our learning, in our teaching planning. And then after varying the content, we can do also varying the learning process, the learning activities, how it is done by the students. We can do the grouping based on certain aspects or factors, yeah, just like I have mentioned before. That is varying process. Maybe this week we do the grouping based on certain aspects, but next week maybe we will ask them to work in pairs. Maybe next week and the other week we'll ask them to do some tasks individually. Yeah, so we will give them variety of learning activities. The next one is varying the assessment of product. How to demonstrate. How do we want our students to demonstrate their knowledge? How do we want our students to produce something as the result of their learning? Okay? So it's also the thing that we have to do, differing assessment and allow students creativity. So it would be better for us to offer or to give them some option, just like I mentioned in the beginning of my presentation, that we don't only offer them one kind of assessment. Yeah, for example, at the end of the lesson, I want you to write your experience during holiday in 100 words. That's it. See? So for students who like writing, who are good at writing, maybe it is no problem for them to write as good as they can, yeah, about their holiday experience. But how about the students who are not really good at writing, but they are good at speaking, right? So by giving them only one option, in assessing their ability or achievement, for example, in telling holiday experience, for example, we don't give opportunity for those students who are not good at writing to express that they are actually good also at other skill of language, for example, at speaking. So after we apply this differentiated instruction, so we will try to offer them several options when we want to ask them, we want to assess them, yeah, and not only asking them to write their experience, for example, during holiday in essay, but also they can choose, they can express their holiday experience by their speaking, right? By making video, maybe they upload in YouTube, yeah, or Instagram and so on. So maybe for those who like drawing, we can ask them to make a kind of poster or infographic also about their holiday experience. So with the same topic, we can give them several options that students can choose based on their own interest. See, so that's the way we try to differentiate our instruction in terms of assessment. So there are three ways of varying or differentiating our teaching in terms of content or presentation, in terms of learning process, and in terms of assessment of our product. See? Now, so this is the, more detailed information about how we vary the content or presentation, how it is taught, whether it is teacher or student-centered. By varying the content, by varying the material, the teaching material for students, it doesn't mean that we dumbing things down, simplify the teaching material for our students. Yeah, varying the content means that getting students to choose one aspect of a topic that catches their imagination. See, for example, we give them one topic, one general topic, and then they can choose one aspect of that topic to elaborate more. See, so it is not only one way for them to elaborate or to explore their imagination or their creativity. And then the second one, how to varying the learning process. It is also involving changing the activities in learning, the content to meet students' individual needs. This means mixing up lessons based on learning modalities. For visual students, they can watch a movie, they can watch a video on the topic. Or for example, for those students who like reading, they can read a book on the topic. Or maybe we can give them traditional classroom by using pencil or paper. Or maybe we can give them also, ask them to work in groups, cooperative groups, for example. So the main point is this: we give them choices. We give them opportunities to choose the best learning method, the best learning activity they prefer according to their learning style, interests, and learning needs. And then the next one, assessment, just like I have mentioned just now, it involves changing the way students demonstrate their knowledge of the same content. So the topic is the same, the content is the same, but the way we assess can vary. Just like I gave you the example just now, right? We can ask them to write, we can ask them to speak up, we can ask them to draw, for example, a poster maybe, or infographic, and so on. See? So student can choose whether they want the oral report, for example, or they want to present, or maybe they want to do to use the PowerPoint for presenting their their knowledge, yeah, or maybe they will sing a song, they will dance, for example, or create a poster or do a demonstration and so on. See, by offering them so many kinds of assessment, so they will be able to choose the best or the appropriate assessment form according to their learning style and so on. See, so Bapak and Ibu, so what a differentiated instruction look like? What does it look like? So the first one is student-centered, of course, because we focus on our students' differences. We focus on how to make them learn in the best way we can give them. And then the second one, address differences. So they will be able to study more effectively when we address their differences, when we give them choices based on their differences. And then give them choices, give students choices. And then increase engagement, of course, when our students feel comfortable in learning because they feel that their teacher give more attention to their characteristic, to their learning style and so on, they will be involving more actively in learning process. And then increasingly possible with technology, of course, yeah. We have to, adapt and use technology in our learning as much as possible. And then choice in students' assignment, okay? As it is also as the principle, yeah, or what differentiated instruction look like. Choices in student assignment. And multiple texts. So we give them text, various texts, reading text which cover various level of difficulty. For those students who maybe are not really, not really good at reading, so we give them certain text with certain vocabulary, which is different from the text for those students who have no problem in reading, who are good at reading, for example. So the challenge for us also to collect together, to pile, yeah, as many as possible reading text and other teaching materials for our students. And then students tested in multiple ways, as I have mentioned just now. And then teaching to multiple form of intelligence. We have realized that each students will have their own intelligence. Yeah, not every student is good at math, right? Not every student is good at language, for example. They will have their own intelligence. Yeah, they will have their own good at specific or certain intelligence. That is the thing that we have to respect. So when we teach English, for example, or when we teach other subjects, and then not every students are good at the subject that we are teaching them. So we have to realize, so it is normal because not everybody will be or will be good at the subject that we teach them, right? So the challenge is how to cover, how to help our students who are not really good at the subject that we teach them. See? So, Bapak and Ibu, to sum up, to summarize the topic that I have presented just now about differentiated instruction. So, it is a teacher's response to learners' needs. It is a teacher's response to learners' needs, to learners' differences, and guided by general principles of differentiation, such as respectful tasks, right? Respect our students by giving them, by allowing them to participate fully in learning activity. And then also flexible grouping. Yeah, we make groups for our students based on certain criteria. Yeah, maybe learning style or interest or learning needs, for example. And then ongoing assessment and adjustment. Ongoing assessment and adjustment. So we we do the formative or ongoing assessment to diagnose, to analyze whether students have problem in learning or not. And then how to differentiate the instruction by varying the content and by varying the process. And the last one is by varying the product. And then we do this differentiation or differentiated instruction according to students' readiness level, and then interest, and also learning profile or learning style. So that is the summary of this topic, differentiated instruction. So Bapak Ibu, if we compare the instruction in traditional classroom to the instruction in differentiated classroom. So the thing is like this. In traditional classroom, when a teacher is facing with students differences, if this teacher does not understand yet about how important it is to differentiate the instruction, so this teacher will be panic, right? Oh my God, there are so many students with their own differences in my classroom. Everybody is different, everybody is unique. What do I have to do with this? So this kind of teacher will be panic, will be problematic. These differences will be problematic, will be a problem for him or her. Okay. Teachers who have understood how to differentiate the instruction or the teaching, so students' differences will be used as the basis for planning the teaching. So it is not a problem anymore, but this is as the information, as the basis for planning the teaching. We know these differences, and then we follow up in our teaching planning. And then assessment also, yeah. So in traditional classroom, teachers usually focus more on summative or final assessment just to take scores on students' achievement, see, without paying attention more on students' process of learning. Yeah, but in differentiated classroom, so teachers pay more attention on ongoing or diagnostic or formative assessment, which is happening in the process of learning. And then the next one, the difference between traditional to differentiated classroom in terms of a narrow sense of intelligence for a teacher who teachers who are in traditional classroom will see the students only in one aspect of intelligence, very narrow, only about cognitive. About they think that this kind of teachers will consider or will think that students will have the same intelligence, one only intelligence. But teachers who have understood about this differentiated instruction will understand that students will have multiple forms of intelligence. They have their own intelligence, which might vary or different from one to another. And coverage, the curriculum guides drive instruction. So it is also happening in traditional classroom. So we just give our teaching in the same treatment, give our teaching in the same way to our students, regardless or no matter how different they are, but we give them the same treatment. But in differentiated classroom, we take into our consideration students' readiness, students' interest, and student learning profile or learning style to shape our instruction, to form our instruction or our teaching. And then time is relatively inflexible. So in traditional classroom, we set the time for the same time for all students to finish one topic or for one unit, regardless, or we don't really pay attention to their differences. Yeah, the most important is all students must finish certain material at the same time. See, but in differentiated classroom, time is used flexibly along with students' need. So we understand that not all students can accomplish their goal at the same time. So we give more time for students who need more time also to accomplish their learning goal. And then the last one, the teacher provides whole class standard for grading. See, one standard for all students, one standard, one score, one KKM, right, for all students. So it doesn't happen in differentiated classroom. We don't do that KKM anymore, right? But we set up some criteria, certain criteria to to assess students' achievement, to assess student whether they have attained the gain or accomplished learning goal or not yet. See, so it is based on criteria. See, okay, and then see, something wrong with my laptop. Yeah, and then the next one. I'm going to show you the example how we do this differentiation, how we do this differentiated instruction in terms of learning activities. For example, here in one book or in one learning planning or in so, for example, the stages of this teaching plan, we have 3 stages here. Introduction, the first one is introduction, the second one is development, the third one is consolidation. Now, in the first stage, introduction, for example, this is the way we do this, differentiation. The procedure is, our teacher review together with the students, review about the topic, and after that present the aims of the lesson. And what is the learning activities? Grouping, whole class. So it is the whole class. And then the second stage, in development stage, the procedure is present the content. For example, the teacher showing videos or slides or text, to students, to the whole class. And then after that, teacher asks students to practice with worksheets, and the learning strategies or the learning activities is leveling groups, or ask the students to work in groups, or can be individual, it depends. And after that, the students to, or give the students a kind of jigsaw, make a step book, for example, and mime orchestra, and it is learning style group. So student work in group based on learning style. And the next one is expert group. And the next one is whole class. So you can see how we differentiate our instruction, how we vary our learning activities for our students. Excuse me. That's it. So that is the thing that we have to do in our classroom in one meeting. Yeah. Varying our learning activities and varying our content, our material, and also varying our assessment. Bapak and Ibu. So again, we are reminded that we are as teachers demanded to adjust our teaching to these students' differences. Choices can make our students more comfortable and give expression to their developing personalities. The next point is instruction that is differentiated for students of different background and interest is also more comfortable, engaging, and inviting. Differentiated instruction can offer multiple benefits to learning, and the teacher needs to work sometimes with the whole class, or sometimes small groups, or sometimes with individual. So if you think that it is something new for you, you don't have to worry that am I going to do this in a nice way, in an easy way, or do I have to do something related to preparing so many teaching strategies, for example? You don't have to do that at once, so step by step, little by little. So start small and do it very well. See, the most important is we try our best to give our best teaching to our student by differentiating our instruction. By doing this differentiation, by doing differentiated instruction, we do hope that our students will learn effectively and will accomplish their learning goal in a better way. I think that's all, Bapak and Ibu, that I can present, or that I can explain to you a little bit about this differentiation or differentiated instruction. Oh my, it's getting late. I'm sorry, Bu Ida. Yeah, you didn't remind me of the time. Yeah, so I'm sorry, Bapak and Ibu. Okay, yeah, I'm so sorry for that. Yeah, that's it. I think I will hand the mic over to Bu Ida again. Go ahead, Bu Ida.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Riris, for the presentation today, tonight. This is about differentiating instruction, but we have heard about presentation of Mrs. Riris. Now we open to any question from Mr. Syafarudin Marpaung, who raised hand. Mr. Syafarudin Marpaung.
Excuse me, I have to connect my laptop.
Yes, I'm here. Can you listen my voice clearly?
Okay, thank you. I'm listening to it, Mr.
Okay, sorry,
Syafarudin.
I don't open the camera because I'm afraid the signal will not be connected.
Okay.
But no problem, I think.
It's no problem.
Okay. First of all, I would like to say thank you very much for the moderator for this thing. Give me time to raise hands and comment, and also for the best keynote speaker. Can we say? Okay, Miss.
You can call me Riris, Pak.
Ma'am, sorry, ma'am.
Okay.
Anistia. Okay. Okay. Yes. She is very clear to describe and explain for us about the topic differentiating instruction in multi-level classroom. Okay, for the first, let me introduce myself. I am Safarudin Marpaung, a teacher at Senior High School at SMU Negeri 2 Tanjung Balai, Sumatera Utara. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Horas, ahoy.
Okay, nice greeting, Pak.
Yes.
How can I answer? Horas.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me convey you about my experience. Hopefully, you can give what I say brightness for me and also for us. Okay, I have met what we call a quiz, for a learning style for the student. I try to detect them by using what I say quiz I got from the internet, from the Google, from quizzes, and then I distribute to the students, and they do the quizzes what we call truly, and then I found out the number of the students. So based on the quiz, I don't make the quiz by myself, but I just copy and accommodate a little. So I found out some students they have learning style in auditory and also visual and also kinesthetic. Before that, I also explain them what is auditory, what is kinesthetic, what is visual, and then I try to encourage them. If you are kinesthetic, so this is the best way for you to what we call this is the best way or the best technique for you to improve your material, improve your learning style. We will get more if you do these techniques. For instance, for kinesthetic, so you have to what I say to do the practice, and then for visual, so you have to look at more videos if you do not know about something, and try to look at videos about the topics and then try to comprehend. So in my question, in my mind, after I determine and after I know the learning style of the students. For instance, from 36 students, 6 students are visual style, and then 10 students are auditory style, and other kinesthetic. So the next, how do I convey or apply the methods, the techniques, the models in not we say a lesson plan now, yeah, but a module, yeah, module. So it will be accommodated for the whole students. It's very difficult for me in my mind. So what I say, do I have to differentiate the technique for each group based on their learning style, or there is the best way, the more efficient or effective to accommodate them well. So perhaps for you can give more brightness or clarification for my question. Can you catch what is in my mind?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. At the last, can I give you pantun for this situation?
Oh, with pleasure, Mister.
Okay, because I am from North Sumatra, so pantun not from
Okay.
Sumatra, but for all of us,
Okay,
because
that's
pantun
great.
is also our heritage. Okay, I try to make just now by English. Yeah.
Yeah.
In big city, many polyclinics. It is better people say cakep, something like that.
Oh yeah, okay, cakep.
Okay, sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
I
go ahead
repeat.
then. You can repeat.
Okay.
In big city, many polyclinics.
Cakep.
People take medicine in the drugs room.
Okay.
Make variety teaching techniques. Students will be happy in the classroom.
Oh, great.
Second
Mr.
pantun.
Syafruddin.
Yes. In big city, many residents. People walk in long pavement. Indicate learning style every student. Give them the best treatment. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's very inspiring, Pak Syafruddin, ya. Bu Hida. Go ahead,
Nice, Mister. Enggak, for Mrs. Riris. Hi, it's the best question from Mr. Syafruddin Marpaung.
Okay.
How do has to convey or apply the method of module to accommodate that? Do have the differentiate module, or what the best way to do to accommodate the way about differentiating instruction?
Okay, thank you, Bu Hida. Thank you, Pak Syafruddin, for the question. I know it is not that easy for us to apply this, differentiation or differentiated instruction. We need to think about the way, about the technique, the method, the best way to apply this approach. But the thing is that like this, in one meeting, we try as best as we can to accommodate all students' differences, all students with their differences, in several different teaching technique or learning activities, just like I showed you in the presentation just now. So, for example, in one meeting, we have 5 practices, we have 5 learning activities. So, in the first activity, maybe we can show our students some videos, so it will be good for visual students, right? But maybe not yet for kinesthetic students. And then the next activity, the second activity, we can set the learning activities which make students move from this point to that point in one classroom in the learning activities, of course. Yeah. So in second activity, our goal is to accommodate the kinesthetic students. Maybe not for the visual students, but they will be involved also. So that's it. The way we work, how to accommodate all students with their own differences, with their own learning style and so on. Yeah. So we try to accommodate by several learning activities in one meeting, for example, or even maybe in certain meeting, we are not, we don't apply this for kinesthetic student yet, but next meeting maybe for them. See, so maybe at the same time, it is not that easy to cover, to accommodate all students with their differences, but we can give them from time to time, yeah, several activities which finally all students with their differences can be accommodated, can be can be covered in our learning, in our teaching, in our teaching, in our classroom. And then you can write down those different activities for different students with different learning style and so on in our lesson plan. So you can write down for visual students, the activities, the learning activities are this one. And for the second activities is, for example, for students who are a bit kinesthetic, they need to move, they need to be mobile, yeah, in the classroom, in terms of learning. So you write down all those activities in your lesson plan in the main activity or kegiatan inti. So everybody can see how you differentiate your instruction. So everybody can see when they are reading your lesson plan. So it will be stated clearly in your main activity, main learning activity, main teaching activity, what you will do for those students with their differences. That's it, Pak Syafruddin. So you do many techniques, you apply many teaching or learning techniques in one meeting, or maybe one or two learning techniques, but next week, next meeting, maybe for different learning activities for different learning style. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Riris. How, Mr. Syafruddin? Okay, we have to, not to, but I see that in the chat, 5 question. Okay. The first from Ahmad Bayu Aryawan, from Southeast Sulawesi. Okay. Wait a second, I read this. I will permit to ask my question. Can the learning method by modify although every meeting was same model?
Excuse me, can you repeat?
Okay. Can the learning method be modified although every meeting was same model? Maybe that mean how to modify every learning activity, maybe, yeah, with the same model.
Yeah, that's what. Okay, I think I get it, Bu Hida. So that's why it is important for teachers to have a variety of teaching technique or learning activities for our students. Not only one medicine for all students, but we have to have a collection, yeah, of our learning activities, yeah, for our students, so we can apply time to time, yeah, which one is appropriate for this meeting, for this topic, which learning activities appropriate for certain students with their own learning style. For example, the next meeting, we will apply another learning techniques or learning activity for our students with their different learning style. Yeah, and in another meeting we will focus, we will make groups, for example, based on their interest, and in another meeting, in the next meeting, we will make groups based on, for example, their learning needs. So by doing this, we try to, that's it, accommodate all students. Yeah, maybe not in one meeting. Yeah, maybe for several meetings, but at least finally all students will have a chance to have learning activities which are suitable with their own learning style. That's at least we can do to differentiate our instruction, rather than we only give the same treatment from time to time, right? With the same teaching technique, lecturing all the time, asking them to work individual or in pairs, for example, or in groups. Yeah, so we make it varied from time to time. Make it varied. Sometimes grouping, sometimes work in pairs, sometimes individual. Yeah, in groupings also there are some criteria that we can choose. Yeah, not only based on learning style, but sometimes based on interest, based on other criteria. And the next time maybe you do something different. So by doing these different things of learning activities or teaching technique, yeah, we do hope that students will be accommodated, yeah, in learning activities. That's from the, what is it, the varying the process, the learning process. Yeah, we can also varying the content, the material that we give to our students. Yeah, the way we present our material. Yeah, by showing videos, by showing pictures, maybe by asking them to read some books, by listening to some news or music or anything. So by varying those what is it, kind of materials and the way we present the materials, we do hope that all students will be accommodated also in the learning process. And then also in the assessment also, we varying the way we assess our students, we varying the way we, what is it, we give them the what is it, variety of assessment form, not only asking them to write, not only asking them to speak up, yeah, but some other option that students can choose based on their own learning style. That's it. So by doing that, we do hope that they will have a chance, opportunity to expose, to express their ability. Actually, maybe not good at writing, but they are good at speaking. Maybe not good at math, but maybe at another subject. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. As a teacher, we must have to learning a lot of variety of technique method, yeah.
Right,
okay.
That's the key.
Okay, next, for the next question, who raised hands? Tadi Mrs. Patricia Risma tadi ya. Okay. For Miss Risma, Patricia Risma nanti. Or still mute,
Oh, Bu Patricia, where is it?
Patricia.
Yes. Okay, Bu. I think you are from Bogor, Bu? No.
Yes, from Bogor. From SD.
Yeah.
I can unmute because of the host. I can unmute by myself.
Okay. I can hear your voice. Okay.
Okay, before I can unmute by myself. Okay, thank you for the time given to me. I am Risma from Bogor, from Kota Bogor. I have a question about the differentiate of giving instruction in the classroom. In this time, I'm still confused how to manage the limited supplies in our school, because I had an experience in private school before this public school, when I teaching in my first year teaching before. We can make a differentiation instruction using some supplies that provide by school, but now in the public school, maybe we have to face with the limited supplies and equipment. And my question is how we deal with this. Maybe that's all my question, and thank you for the answer, Ibu Riri. Thank you, Ibu Hida.
Yeah, thank you, Mrs. Risma. Okay, Miss Riri.
Okay, thank you, Bu Risma. Yeah, that's a nice, interesting question. Yeah, it's honest question actually. Yeah, about your real condition in your school. But do not worry about that. So, do not depend ourselves on what is it? Facilities provided by school. Yeah, including the materials or books or anything. We can make our own material. We can generate. We can compile. We can modify our own material. We can, that's it, as English teachers, for example. Yeah, we must be very active, yeah, quote unquote, yeah, in collecting, compiling, yeah, any resources that we find. When we go to a hotel, we ask for the brochure. We can, if we buy something, a new product, for example, and then we see that there's a procedure, yeah, how to use that product, and then we can keep it. And then that's also the resources, yeah, for teaching, yeah, for learning, for our students learning. See, so I am the kind of teacher who do not like to use any textbook or any materials provided by school. I prefer to generate, to modify my own material, because I can modify the material, the teaching material, based on my students' condition. I can adjust the material that I compile or that I generate according to my students' learning ability, for example, yeah, in English, for example. See, Bu Risma, so don't worry about that. So you can make your own material, you can compile, yeah, from many resources. It will be more satisfying for us as teachers, and students will be enjoying the real authentic material that we give them, yeah, even though it is maybe a hard work for us to do, yeah, because we have to spend our extra time to compile this material, but it will be satisfying for us, yeah. It's worth it actually. Okay, what is
Okay.
that?
Okay, thank you for the answer, Ibu Riri.
Okay. Now we can make our own materials, yeah.
Yes.
Modify, compiling.
Yes. Now for the next questions from Mr. Dedi Prasetyo.
The last one, I guess.
The last one.
I have to do something else.
Okay.
Okay.
The last one because the
Yeah.
time.
I'm in the middle of doing something else actually.
Okay, thank you. I read this. I really want to try this methodology in my class, but the problem is I teach many classes with different level. It makes difficult to create many learning methodology and to differentiate introduction in every classroom. So I decide to use only one methodology for all classroom in same level. I need your suggestion. What can I do in this situation? Thank you.
Okay, so my suggestion is you do the differentiation. You do this differentiated instruction. That is the thing that you have to do little by little. You can't do much at one time, right? It is not something magical words that you can make it happen, yeah, make it happen successfully in one time. No, I know it needs our hard work, right? Pak Orbu just now, yeah. Okay, but the things that you have to do is you have to try to first get information, yeah, about our students' condition from each class. So if you teach, for example, five classes, you have to get some information for from each class, yeah. So for example, if you teach in class A, so what is the condition of the students in class A, and then in class B, C, D, okay, they will be different, right? Now, so you must try to adjust your teaching activities, your teaching planning based on the condition of each class. See, that's the ideal condition. So do not give them the same treatment, especially different classes. Different class will have different treatment. Do not give one medicine for all classes. Do not give one treatment for all classes. It will be boring for our students, yeah? And that's not a good way for them to learn, right? So please try to adjust your teaching, adjust your teaching technique, teaching methods based on the students' condition of each class. See, by doing that, the students will be involving in learning activities more effectively. See, for example, if you want to go to class A and you know the situation, you know the condition, the atmosphere in that class, you know the characteristic, the students of that class. So you know what to do with your teaching plan. You know what to do, what material, what kind of material that's suitable with that students in class A. But when you come to class B, it will be different. The treatment will be different. Oh yeah, class B, there are so many what is it, fast learners, for example. Yeah? So you have to adjust your teaching material. Yeah, but in class A, for example, there are some slow learners, for example. Then you have to adjust your material also. You adjust your teaching technique also. You adjust your assessment also. You adjust your criteria. So for ideal condition, for ideal teaching, you have got several criteria for each class. Depend on their condition, they depend on their learning style, their learning needs, and so on. See, Pak? Okay. So in Bahasa Indonesia, we can say like this one. Jadilah guru yang 10 kali 1. Jangan jadi guru yang 1 kali 10. Jadi jangan jadi guru yang hanya punya satu metode pembelajaran atau metode mengajar, hanya punya satu jenis materi, hanya punya satu jenis teknik mengajar, hanya punya satu jenis penilaian assessment untuk 10 materi, 10 topik yang kita ajarkan. Apapun topiknya ngajarnya itu terus like that, ya. But be teacher of 10 kali 1. You have 10 materials, 10 kinds of material, you have 10 kinds of teaching technique, learning method, 10 kinds of assessment for one material. You can choose the best method, the best assessment, the best material suitable for each class. So enrich your teaching technique, the collection of material, the collection of assessment, scoring rubric, and everything. So you can choose any suitable form for your certain classes. That's it. Bu Hida, selesai.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Iris.
Okay.
Oh, but the time is fine. Finished. Okay. Now have 9 o'clock. Okay, before this webinar is finished, I try to make a conclusion from this. Okay. Now, but from differentiation. Okay, the definition of differentiation is the process by which teachers provide opportunities for learners to achieve their potential, working at their own pace for learning activities. Because every student has different learning style, differ on performance and readiness levels. Now, principle of differentiation is all the students participate in respectful work, flexible by use of materials, and grouping by teachers and students. Teachers and students can collaborate in the learning activities. Now, how to differentiate on instruction? You need to be aware of the different strength and weakness of your students. Be aware of the different ways in which your students learn and student characteristics from readiness, interest, and learning profile. Then varying the content, learning process, and product, but learning in the best way because we have to student center of learning activities. Okay, before this webinar is finished, maybe Mrs. Riris want to say something for closing statement? Still mute, Mrs.
Oh, sorry. Okay then. Yeah, thank you, Bu Hida. I just hope that I know it is not easy for us to apply this kind of method of differentiating our instruction, but we have to keep trying, our best, because this is what our students need. Differentiating instruction, pembelajaran berdiferensiasi, so they will be able to study with their own pace, with their own learning speed, with their own learning style, and then they will study more effectively if we do our instruction, our differentiation in our teaching. That's it. So keep trying our best to give our best teaching to our students. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Keep trying to be the best teacher, yeah. Okay, so it's a great closing statement, I guess. I want to say sorry if I have some mistakes of this webinar. Maybe this webinar is useful. This is useful for our activity of in the class with our students and have a beneficial of this webinar. Okay. Thank you for the attention from this webinar. Thank you, Mrs. Riris. I go back to Mrs. Ari Widikrisya as a host. Okay, Mrs. Ari.
Okay, thank you, Miss Ida, dan saya mungkin serahkan kepada Pak Joko ya. Pak Joko sudah hadir di sini sebagai hostnya. Pak Joko. Pak Joko, apakah hadir?
I think I see Mr. Joko.
Mr. Joko? Ada saya. Baik, kalau tidak ada, terima kasih Ibu Riris yang sudah memberikan inspirasi ya bagaimana tadi bagi seorang pengajar jangan hanya punya satu metode dengan berbagai macam pengajaran ya, tapi luar biasa dengan tadi juga attention, perhatian dari semua Bapak dan Ibu, dan tentunya untuk minggu depan kita akan bertemu dengan topik yang berbeda dan sangat menarik, dan tadi sudah juga hari ini dipandu oleh Ibu Hida yang sangat luar biasa juga dalam hal memandu kita dalam acara webinar hari ini. Dan selanjutnya untuk Bapak dan Ibu yang belum mengisi link presensi, mohon segera mengisi. Sertifikat akan terbit 5 hari minimal ya, 5 hari setelah pelaksanaan kegiatan. Dan saya selaku penyelenggara mohon maaf atas mungkin dalam penyelenggaraan ada kekurangan, dan terima kasih juga bagi panitia yang membantu di sini, ada Ibu Amelia, Pak Ridwan, kemudian Pak Solahuddin dan Pak Joko ya, yang kami adalah tim kecil yang konsisten untuk membantu pendidikan khususnya untuk Indonesia, dan terlebih adalah mungkin kita juga bisa mengibas ya ke berbagai kalangan ya, tidak hanya untuk dalam pendidikan, tetapi di sini secara umum kadang-kadang TOT ini juga dihadiri oleh mahasiswa, siswa, bahkan orang tua siswa juga. Terima kasih untuk semuanya. Dan saya minta Pak Solahuddin untuk menutup dalam doa ya, kalau Pak Joko tidak hadir ya.
Mr. Joko, I see the participant as co-host. Bu Ari.
Ada Pak Joko? Tidak ada? Oh, oke, Pak Solahuddin.
Baik, Ibu Bapak sekalian, mohon maaf nih tidak berbahasa Inggris gini. Malam yang sangat istimewa karena sesi malam hari ini kita sajikan menggunakan bahasa Inggris, bahasa internasional. Tentunya bisa menambah kepercayaan diri kita ya untuk bisa lebih luas lagi dalam berkemanfaatan. Syukur-syukur tidak hanya level Indonesia saja, tapi juga satu saat dengan kemampuan kompetensi berbahasa kita juga bisa berbuat lebih banyak lagi di kancah internasional, mewakili Indonesia tentunya. Terima kasih pada Bu Ristanti dan juga Bu Hida. Semoga materi yang disampaikan pada malam hari ini bisa menambah keberkahan buat kita semuanya, jadi amal jariah, dan kita juga bisa memanfaatkan ilmu-ilmunya itu dalam pembelajaran kita sehari-hari. Ala hadhihi wa ala kulli niyatin sholihah ya naqra min Furqan Fatihah. Alhamdulillah, semoga Tuhan memberkati apa-apa yang sudah kita upayakan pada malam hari ini. Demikian, Bu Ari, apa langsung ditutup saja?
Ditutup saja. Mungkin terima kasih juga Ibu Amel. Ya, ditutup saja ya. Baik, kita foto bersama dulu.
Oh iya,
Lupa ya.
sesi pemotretan ya. Siap, mari Ibu Bapak sekalian, kita abadikan momen malam hari ini. Bagi yang bisa open cam, silakan open cam. Yang memungkinkan dibuka kameranya. Untuk yang tidak memungkinkan, ya enggak apa-apa, ditutup saja. Nanti kita akan coba. Saya mulai dari slide 1 dulu. Saya kurang tahu ada di slide berapa ini ya, Ibu Bapak sekalian. Slide 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oke, di slide 2. Untuk yang sudah open cam kayaknya boleh istirahat karena di slide 2 teman-teman yang tidak open cam. Biar nggak capek senyumnya maksudnya. Oke, sekarang slide terakhir. Ya. Sekali lagi terima kasih Bu Bapak sekalian atas kehadirannya untuk materi. Bu Ristanti boleh di-share. Biasanya teman-teman suka nanya di grup Ibu. Siap, boleh ke Bu
Kemudian
Ari atau mau langsung?
materi yang untuk minggu depan sudah ada di grup TOT ya nanti ya, mungkin bisa.
Oh ya, siap. Flyernya Bu ya.
Flyer maupun juga untuk live streamingnya sudah juga ada di YouTube juga sudah siap ya untuk
Siap.
tampil.
Boleh di-save dan juga boleh diajak rekan-rekan yang lainnya untuk bisa bergabung di pertemuan Rabu malam kita. Baik, terima kasih. Silakan Ibu Bapak sekalian jika ingin melanjutkan istirahatnya. Semoga amal ibadah kita semuanya diterima oleh Allah SWT. Berkah buat semuanya. Saya izin live ya.
Terima kasih untuk semuanya. Selamat malam, selamat beristirahat. Dan terima kasih Bu Ida, terima kasih Ibu Riris ya, yang luar biasa, dan teman-teman Mas Bayu ini yang banyak ya, jadi peserta yang setia untuk kita ya. Dan ditunggu, siapa tahu ada yang mau berkenan juga berbagi menjadi moderator minggu depan. Pak Rudi dari Sumatera yang akan membawakan materi ya. Beliau adalah pengurus IGI pusat ya minggu depan. Baik, terima kasih.